Spicy Book Club Hour. We are reviewing today Groupie by C.M. Stunek. See, I'm always great at the pronouncing. As always, you have me, your host Jess. We have joining us tonight. We have Claire, the beautiful Claire. We have the beautiful Nick.
Hello there.
We have the beautiful Jen.
Nice.
And we have the wonderful, beautiful Lee.
Bye.
So, as I said at the beginning, we have read this week the book entitled Groupie by C.M. Stunek. And it's a very interesting book, I will say. I'm going to go ahead and read the summary. This book has one girl and 5 bad boy rock stars. She owns them all heart, body, and soul. Don't read it unless you like to ugly cry, and also unless you like threesomes, foursomes, and moresomes. Can one of these 5 rock stars fill the hole in my heart, or will I stay broken forever? Young, dumb, broke. That's what started everything. With $5 in her pocket and everything she owned stuffed into the back of her car, Lilith Good's life is over. Done. Destroyed. A crumpled concert ticket. 10 words, 1 text. That's all it took to change the whole world. A crumpled concert ticket, a chance encounter. That's what it takes to start all over again. 5 rock stars, 1 girl, 6 dark hearts, 6 withered souls. But can one broken person really put another back together again? This is is this cross-country tour the place to do it? Welcome to Groupie. Alright, so with that out of the way, we're going to get into what we liked about the book. I almost said the movie, because it was a movie in my head, to be honest.
I was like, was it? Oh my gosh.
It felt like it.
It was, that'd be one rated X movie.
Right? Alright, so we're going to change it up a little bit. And I'm going to start by asking Lee, what did you think about the book? I keep saying movie.
Is this like that I'm doing now, or just
likes?
What?
Yes. Your likes, yes.
Okay. Well, I really liked the relatability to some extent of the situation she was going through. I feel like the way that the author wrote in the emotions was believable and realistic. It wasn't over the top, but then there was these little peppered in moments of deep wisdom, and I had found myself keep going back to reading these side statements. They have this really hot, intense spicy bit, and then say something else afterwards, and I'm like, I'm going to write that down. I found myself wanting to have a journal and write down some of the quotes because they're just really, really good. Encouragement, affirmation of the day kind of thing. It's nice that all of that was encompassed, for sure. I appreciated that much about the book. I have a little bit of the ADHD issues that I struggle with. So I felt like the fact that it was hitting on a bunch of different levels really kept me entertained. I like that a lot.
I agree. I have to agree. This had so many genuine little quotes here and there that were just sprinkled in that I was like, oh, I really have to write these down because there's so many that were they hit so exactly right that everybody can just immediately go, oh, I understand completely what you mean by that. and it's one of those things that really I appreciated too. So I 100% agree with you. Okay, Jen, what did you like about Groupie?
Everything after chapter 30. But I did like that it jumped around, like you got something from everybody's perspective. So you kind of had like a window into how, not just her, but how all of the guys are thinking about things. Man, what I would have given for like 10 pages of, gosh, what's her name? The stupid manager. 10 pages from the manager's perspective.
Yeah.
Give me that, please. I need it. So I need to know if she's actually that awful or if it's just kind of like a side effect of something else.
I'm also interested in seeing if her backstory comes out in the. This is a continuous series, by the way. This is the first of 4. Is that
Three.
right? 3. Okay. And yeah, this is definitely one that I would like to see if they explored the manager at all with her, why she was the way she was. So we'll see going forward if we continue the series, which I honestly am. Claire, what were your likes?
So my likes are not wholesome like everybody else's. I like the sex. I like that there was sex, and more sex, and all the
We know,
sex,
we know.
various sex, and there was some kinky sex, toys in there. I am here for the sex. I like the.
Oh,
what I liked.
oh yeah. It's
I like the variety of dudes. I like the variety of personality in the dudes. I like, you know, I would have liked more variety in the places of sex, but I'll take the sex club and in the bat cave. I'll take that. But I thought that this was the spiciest book we've read. I've been asking for more spice. I got more spice.
There so far, yeah.
I'm not about it. I like the reverse harem, I think is what the genre is called.
Yep.
I'm all about it. I'm all about it.
Yep.
I like that they hinted at the different guys having different kind of sexualities. I like that there was like, even between I think Ransom and Paxton, like every now and I'm here for that too. And I'm gonna do a palate cleanser, but I'll probably continue the series too because I'm gonna get some male, and then also some female in there.
Yeah.
Later in the series.
Yeah.
I was about to say,
That's
I
later.
have a feeling this is coming.
I'm here for no wholesome likes here. I like all the dirty things that happen in this book.
Dirty. Yes. This for sure is way up on the spice meter. And the thing about this is not a slow burn at all. This immediately starts the sex within the first chapter, I think. Right at the end of the first chapter, maybe?
It wasn't the first chapter, but it was like a few chapters in after when she gets on the bus. It was like, and then he pulled me in for a kiss, and next thing I know, but we're fucking. Oh my god, how can I be having sex with the guy I just met?
Well, I think that was like at the. I think it's actually in chapter 2 or something, because the first chapter was her going to the concert and then finding them.
And meeting Pax in the parking lot.
Yep. And then going backstage, and then I think the second chapter starts with them inviting her back to the bus, because
I think it's more of Paxton bringing her back to the bus, and then the rest of them finding out, oh, she's here.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't she leave her shoes? Oh, she left her shoes on the bus.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was. Okay. Yeah.
I left her through a lot of places.
She did.
I mean, to be fair, she wasn't wearing them a lot.
Right?
You can't blame her. They're heels.
Yeah, those were.
Can't blame her because she had 4 other dudes around her, at least.
I mean, yeah.
Is it about the one?
I mean,
At
nobody
least.
have the heels, honestly.
She had
That's what you do.
There's a lot we could do with them heels. If somebody
I don't
You
think
know?
they need them though. With the way that room is described in the back of that bus, I don't think they're any shortage of toys.
no.
no, absolutely.
The black box that never ends.
Exactly. So I will say that when they started calling the room in the back of the bus the Bat Cave, I immediately was like, hell yes, this is a cool fucking group. I love them for that. And then they started describing the room and what, like, all the different, like, drawers and stuff they had, and I was like, okay, I understand the Bat Cave more.
It's just a sex dungeon, that's all.
It's,
The
yeah,
back of the bus.
basically on a tour bus, which is, how does
Yep.
that work? Apparently,
A
like
mobile
this.
sex dungeon. I mean, that's better.
Yeah, that's even better.
I
Just
love it.
Not everybody chooses a room at the back of the bus. Sometimes there's always a room, but usually it's just like a couch, lounge area, a full-on bedroom.
This is true.
I've been on a few buses. Let's see.
All
Like
right.
an RV type of thing.
Yeah.
Sort of. They have like bunk sleepers of sorts
Yeah.
on the sides and whatnot for the majority of sleeping, and then the back room is that like lounge area that you would normally just relax or hang out in, but they completely transformed it into their own personal free use room.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, they did.
The rec room.
Yep.
the rec room.
WRECK.
Yeah, there we go. I love that. Nick, what were your likes about Groupie?
I mean, it pretty much what everyone else has said has been true to fold for me. The sex was great. The storyline along it, there was some hiccups on it, but there was a lot of like differential character growth between everyone, and it wasn't just like solely based off of, you know, Lilith or anything else. It was, you got to see character growth from all of them, and you got to see the differences between all of the people rather than just, oh, this is like backstory character A, backstory character B kind of deal. It was, you actually got a good handle on the difference of the people, as well as the way that the author built the world around the venues and the bus and the way everything works in the world. Like, it was really well done for me.
It felt very, to some extent, super realistic, but also in book world where you can be like, the dimensions of the bus keep changing.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it is bigger than it looks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. TARDIS situation.
Absolutely.
Exactly. I 100% agree with that. I feel like this was the most well-rounded of characters growth from all of the different characters that they introduced that we've read so far. Other than Fourth Wing. Fourth Wing is just next level, but that's just character, that's world building. But this is also really, really well done, in my opinion.
We only scratched the surface of the character growth in the first book too.
I could feel that. Honestly, I could feel them I feel like there's so much more to delve into, and I know that we're going to get that with the later books, and that's why I actually started reading Brody now, because I was like, I want to keep going. And I love when books make me do that. When you find a book that you're like, I want more from it, because I want, not necessarily like the story was too short or whatever. I want more of these characters and how they interact with each other. I want more of like what they do in the real world. I want more of all of these different things. So yeah, I agree with this 100%. I also will say, for me, I've read a lot of romance books. I'm prefacing this with that. I've read a lot in my time. This the sex that they described in this book, what the fuck? Like, seriously, some of it was it was well done enough to be like, I could see what was happening and the positions and stuff in my mind, see all of that perfectly. I could also be like, oh yeah, you would have to be in this, you'd have to be this sort of way, and yeah.
Little twister puzzles to figure out.
Pretty much, yeah. Because it starts off with just the 4. Well, actually, Lilith one-on-one with various people. Then it goes to Lilith and I think it's not Muse, Copeland and Ransom, right?
I think so.
And then it goes to... I know. And then it goes to the threesome. And then it goes to the foursome. And eventually we get to the fivesome. And I'm like, holy crap. We only get like 1, maybe 2 scenes with the fivesome. And I was like, I do want more of that. Just saying. But I know that's in the later part of the series. So I'm like, I can get to that. So in that case, it is a slow burn.
I see Lee's face and I'm like, you know.
You're muted. You're muted.
Sorry. I don't want to ruin anything. I'm trying to keep my mouth closed because I keep wanting to go, oh.
See,
it's so good. It's so worth it. Keep going.
Oh, I am, because I feel like this series is real enough in a lot of ways that I'm like, I'm into this. It's also taking that kind of like dream that you may, like a lot of people have had, of like traveling with their favorite bands or whatever to all of these different places and maybe having relationships with certain band members or something. And it's definitely giving us that, and I'm like, I'm having fun with this. So I'm definitely going to keep reading because I cannot wait to see what's happening in the later part of the series. But for what the story is, for what this plot is, what happens in it, I am fully on board. But one of my biggest like atta girls, I'm gonna say, was the fact that they wrote about grief in such a freaking real way, because this deals with a lot of grief, and the way that they approach it, the way that they talk about it, the way that it is brought up a lot, and it is very cyclical, but it's also very, it comes out of nowhere, and she just is like, oh yeah, my dad died, and she goes through all of those emotions again, and she's like, I want to not feel this. So that's what starts her on her sexcapade.
But it's also not just her that's grieving either.
Exactly.
You also get the grieving processes of the guys and whatnot, of all of their traumas and their past issues and whatnot, that kind of like meld together and coincide with how she's grieving.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's why all of the guys,
fantastic.
I know, that's why all the guys kind of like gravitate toward her, and because she's expressing her grief in a very real way that they all relate to, and it also is touching on their grief, and it's like,
but it's also healing some of their friendships that are around grief, right? Like they're all like Ransom and Paxton have this beef, but it's mostly because they're both grieving and haven't had the chance to work it out together. And then it gives them, she's the catalyst that makes them figure their shit out and work out their friendship so they can actually be brothers again, rather than bandmates. And
so, from what I have experienced in life, a lot of times when people are really dealing with hard emotions, the easiest emotion to kind of grab onto is anger. And That's what I feel like they did, and they were just going to go through the anger phase together so hard until they were surrounded by her grief, and it brought out their grief. It brought it out in a more healing kind of way for them. And that's the thing that I was like, holy crap, this is well done. Because I feel like this person has had to have gone through some grief in their life, and they've had to like do some therapy or something, because what they did was incredible in this story. I was like, this works.
To contrast that, trauma bonding in real life can be very detrimental and toxic. And that's exactly what they're doing, is trauma bonding. And
Yes.
I hope in the next few books they at least say, okay, let's get some help. I know it's a porn, basically, so it's not going to happen. But, you know, you would hope that it's going to happen, that they also seek help outside of their sexual
Yes.
escapade, right?
Right.
Because
Well, and I think that this is the good place to start. And this is the starting point. So literally the way that she's kind of trying to hold herself together is just by numbing herself and being like, I just want anything to distract me. And that's why she goes into all the sex all the time. Yes. But just with these boys.
Very much setting up a codependent relationship,
At
because
first.
everybody else is like stopping all of the gaps in everybody else, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is actually a good point to go into our dislikes of the book, because these are things that definitely could be borderline for a lot of reasons, because trauma bonding absolutely can be toxic, especially if you don't go any further than just, you have trauma, I have trauma, our trauma goes together, and that's all we're doing. We're just constantly in this state. It's not good for anybody. You don't get out of that state easily. It's easier to stay there. It's not healthy. And so I'm very, very, very interested to see how they get past the initial trauma bonds that they've created. However, let's go backwards. Nick, what did you not like, or you had a gripe about with this book?
I mean, one of the biggest gripes is from someone who has lost their parents and whatnot, and understands the grieving and the grieving process and everything else. On stint, it felt like I get it, you know, trauma hits everyone in different ways, and grieving hits everyone in different ways, and so on and so forth. But it was like every chapter there was at least one or two, if not more, it felt like, of her bringing up her dead dad and so on and so forth. And I'm like, okay, I get it. You're dealing with your dad. He was biggest part of your life, so on and so forth. And you just lost him, lost basically everything. And now you're in the throes of 5 guys at once.
Yeah.
On a tour bus that you don't know any of them. And so you keep rehashing and going back through everything. That was one of the bigger things for me, was that it kept coming up over and over and over and over and over. Otherwise, the other thing for me, which is a completely side story from that, would be the fact of not getting any insight as to why the manager absolutely despised Lilith from the get-go. Yes, I get it. Managers are there to, keep groupies off the bus, keep the band and everything going in the direction they're supposed to go, and keep them working and playing music and so on and so forth, and not get distracted. It just seemed like she was taking it way too far at times.
I don't think that was coming from a managerial perspective at all.
no, she wanted to
like
like that.
Yeah, that was straight female. She had absolutely everything that she wanted. And she thought, oh my God, nobody can tame them, because if I can't, then nobody can. And then here comes this bitch.
That's
And
fair.
there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like
Um,
dominoes.
She's probably thinking, I've been here all along, trying to
Right?
woo Paxton into
Exactly. And not only that, I think the turning point on that one was when she saw them snuggling on the couch. Okay. After that, he was out. He was done. That shit was not logical anymore. Not only are you having sex with him, but you get to touch him too. No, ma'am.
like you can be his plaything, but the moment
Exactly.
you show a real emotion towards you, that's not even possible.
Yeah.
Fair
Yeah.
point.
I feel
I
like
can see
Female jealousy. They're all experts.
I feel like we can, females in particular, have experienced some form of female jealousy in some way, and it could get fucking toxic very fast. And
It starts that way. It doesn't get there. It starts that way.
yes, well,
Guys get it as well, just not in the same sense.
I've had one instance where a jealousy did not end up, like, was not starting toxic, and then it ended up very toxic. But we'll get into that at a different time.
Later days on that one.
Yeah. But I agree. I wish we got a little bit more into why Octavia was the way she was with Lilith right off the start, because the only thing that kept getting brought up is that she was in love with Paxton and she wanted Paxton, and that was why she was against her being on the bus and her being around the boys and her.
Well, she was nice to her that first night. She explained things to her. She was like, hey, come this way. And like, nobody's really talked to you, have they? And kind of talked her through it. She was really kind. And then when Lilith said she didn't want to do the VIP experience, that's when it went.
Yeah. That's true. That is very true. I will say that I know this will be a gripe for other people as well. The constant bringing up her dad's death and like, I'm not joking. If like Claire's about to say, if we did a drinking game, we would all be dead. Of how many times she brought it up, we would, or at the very least, in the hospital with alcohol poisoning.
Depends on what we're drinking.
It's also yes. It is brought up quite a bit. It is continuously brought up. I feel like partly whenever we see it a lot is when we're in her own perspective, in Lilith's perspective, and it's just like a thought just enters her head and she's like, oh, my dad and I used to, and then she's like, my dad's dead, and then she spirals from there. It's not necessarily an outward thing that she's expressing, but she is still going through it this entire book. It's constantly on her mind, so it is something that does get repetitive a bit, but also I'm like, I feel like that's grief in some ways too, because it does just jump in out of nowhere. It does interrupt thoughts. It does do these things. So I'm like, I can see it both ways, and I'm like, it's repetitive and I don't like it that much, but also I feel like it's kind of true to how grief is. So I'm like,
I just couldn't with some of the scenes. It was the wrong time. She'd be like, and I'm exaggerating. I may not be exaggerating, but she'd be like, he pulled out of me, and then it hit me. My daddy died. My daddy died. Cancer ate him. And then
oh
be
yeah,
like,
okay. I will say, 100%. 100% that phrase that cancer ate him. That, like, the first time she said it, I was like, oh shit. And then she kept saying it over and over, and I'm like, okay, now this, come on. You gotta.
Okay, to be fair though,
Yeah.
it does feel like that.
Yeah.
It
It
does.
feels like they have been eaten alive by this awful thing,
Yeah,
and like they've just been destroyed, murdered by this thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I get that. My problem is what Jess, when you said, like, you know, she would think of something that would remind her of her dad. That only happened like twice.
That's true.
Otherwise, it was just random ass.
Yeah.
I'm making, you know, nothing. I'm gonna go take a shower. Oh shit, my daddy's dead.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Literally.
That was the part that was like, eh.
Yeah.
That is fair.
I just.
Because, like, you forget. You forget and then you remember.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's.
yeah, and then it hurts even more when you remember and you realize that you're starting to forget. Then you're like, what do I?
forgot?
Yeah. That's. Yeah. I feel like part of it was also her trying to. I mean, she's going through it and she's feeling the grief and she's not only grieving her dad, she's also grieving like her mom and her sister at the same time. And then she's also grieving like that house I can't go back to because she's about to sell it, her wicked stepmother.
And
What?
her shitty relationship that ended, she's kind of grieving that time loss with that troll.
Oh yeah, we'll get into that.
That's my. I think that guy can go fly up a creek. You got to have a villain. He's a good one.
Yeah, for sure.
So yes.
I'm just gonna. No, keep. It's okay. I was gonna say.
No, keep going. I was actually just gonna ask you what your dislikes were, other than.
I didn't like, other than my daddy died.
Yeah.
My daddy. Sorry, no, I read the audio, hence the mocking of the voice. But I didn't like where the book ended. I'm a little mad about where it ended. I wanted them to end it in New York with the concert in New York, but then she had the opportunity to go confront her stepmom. And I wanted them to help her do that. I know they had asked her to continue tour, but I'm like, no. Close that loop. Like, go confront. I love a good confrontation in my trash, like in this kind of setting. I love it. I want to come back. I want to come back for her. I want the stepmom to be like, you ain't trash, you ain't shit. And then she shows up with these hot ass band members and they're like supporting her and they're helping her fight her stepmom for her dad's house, or like, you know, I want that kind of comeback for her. Like, you know, she deserves that. Everybody deserves that, right? Like, it's unfair for her stepmom to just completely cut her out of the equation, because I doubt if her dad loved her that much that he did that. So
Oh yeah.
I want to see that confrontation with her stepmom. So
I feel like one of the guys is going to buy her that house.
that probably won't happen next book, but you know.
I have just started reading Groupie, so I don't know anything, but I'm looking at both Nick and Lee, and they're not giving anything away, and I'm like, they know something, but still.
All right.
100%. Like, I understood why they wanted to end it there, because they just had that big confrontation with both Kevin and Octavia, and the guys were like there for her after all of the craziness of trying to find her and stuff. They were there for her, and they were like, we'll take care of you. We have to just like, we're never allowed, you can't leave without saying goodbye, and we won't leave you without saying goodbye or whatever. And this was like a ground rule that they set, and I was like, okay,
Like-
that needed to happen.
It like cemented the emotional bond.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that that's why it felt like a natural place to end this book. And I feel like continuing on with Rhodey, we are going to get something from that, and I hope so. But we will see. And I'm not. I'm
That's
reading
also a lot
faces
of the
again.
reason that they do that. is still the person like, I don't like where that ended.
Mhm.
Where's the second one?
Mhm.
Marketing.
Exactly. That's very, very true. So I 100% understand where you're coming from, and I kind of agree because it would have been very cathartic to have it in that first book, but I also feel like they're not gonna just not do anything with it. They have to do
Yeah.
something with it later on. So
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree.
yeah. So I'm like, smart. Wait, make us wait. I know. You're like, give me it all in one book.
Continue. Make me continue.
Okay. Jen, what were your dislikes?
The first half of the book.
Okay.
You guys, like,
Interesting.
I'm not gonna lie. I was halfway through this thing and I'm like, oh my god, I cannot stand this book. I hate this, but I have to listen to the rest of it so
Okay.
that, you know, going in, like, I know everything that happened, right?
Mhm.
So that I can complain with foreknowledge. And honestly, it was the setup of, okay, so she had sex with Paxton, and then she had the, oh my god, I can't believe I just did that.
Mhm.
And then she did it again.
Yeah.
And then again had an, oh my god, I can't believe I just did that. And then it happened again. And then, oh my god, and then again, and then again. Like, if you're being self-destructive, be self-destructive. Okay?
She was
There's
being-
a reason to lie to yourself about that
She
shit.
was being a little wishy-washy with her self-destruction.
Exactly. Like, you made some choices. That's cool. Do you?
Yeah.
Like, why do you have to feel bad about it? Or you're not even, like, it's almost like the author was trying to make her not a hoe,
Yeah.
but she was a hoe. It's okay.
It's not a,
It's okay
it's
to be
not
a
a
hoe.
bad
That's what we're
thing.
here for.
Yeah, she's in her hoe era. That's okay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We all
We've
had
all been
one.
there.
These
So,
boys
I
really
think,
big
so,
in their hoe era. It's okay.
up until she like actually started getting like some emotional ties to the guys, I couldn't stand any of it because it was just so preposterous to me. Like, who are you lying to? You know? And it was almost like I felt like it was one of those pornos where, you know, pizza guy knocked on the front door. Okay, we just need a setup. We need some way to get all of these people having sex together at the same time. Doesn't really matter how it happens. We just need that, and then we can go. You know?
Hmm.
But as soon as emotions got involved, I was down. I was loving it. Like I said, chapter 30 on, I loved it.
Yeah. Okay. So I will say.
Boy, true to that.
I will say that yes, she it felt like she was trying to fight her emotions in some way when she was like connecting to the guys individually, but also she was just kind of there for whatever. So the fact that like we got some things here and there from the guys being like, she's so sweet, I like her so much, the blah blah blah, it makes me feel better. I was like, this is interesting because I don't know how many romance books I've read that it's kind of the flip where the guys show more emotion or more connection, emotional connectivity, I guess, to the girls first. That was a little different, and I was like, I kind of like that. I feel like because she did mention multiple times, Lilith did mention multiple times that her sexual history basically included Kevin, and I think
One other guy.
yeah, I think one other guy, and that was basically it. And she was like, I'm just here to kind of be a hoe right now and
She never
enjoy
admitted
the
that, though.
sex. I know, no,
No,
she never
not.
did. She never said that. She's like,
denied.
I'm here to enjoy the sex. I'm here to enjoy whatever they give me. I'm here to just enjoy this period in my life. And I'm like, hell yeah, because we've all been there. Like
I mean, especially when Especially when you're going through a rough time. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Just go with the flow.
Sometimes it's nice to just not have feelings involved in shit.
Exactly.
And that's how it starts.
Nothing wrong with
And
it.
then feelings
Right.
get involved. So it was a whole kind of flip. And it feels very, very true to life, because sometimes we do this. And sometimes we're like, I actually found out I like you a little bit more than I thought I did. But we started with sex, so that was fine. So, 100%. I was like, I could see where you're going with this. I will say for me, I was just enjoying kind of the ride of like, what is happening? But I can absolutely see how after a certain point, when the emotions actually, you could see them coming through, and how much they are connecting to each other and everything, and how Ransom basically goes to her every night and is like, I need you to just sleep with me, and not even sex or anything. He's just like, I want to just be next to you, so it helps me kind of get through the night. And I was like, I'm so sorry, Ransom. Oh, he's such a cutie and
I
such
know,
a
right?
sweetheart. I love him so much.
Him and Muse, I swear.
Yeah, so I'm with you. Lee, what were your gripes?
I just feel like when it's one of these types of romances where the girl's having either kind of an awakening, or obviously Lilith Tempest could, she's having her moment, obviously trauma and all the, like, her life just basically imploding, right? So she's gonna have this huge character arc, and we get that. But it's just so formulaic to have this shitty boyfriend come back in. I don't understand how she gave him the day for him to even become part of the story. And I already hated him. It made me hate him more. I guess that was well done, because I hated him.
Yeah, that's
I too much of my past in that guy. I was like, oh, bad decisions. But honestly, I just felt like it was a little too easy to put him back in there too. It could have been the whole Octavia show and her just being the bitch and whatever. But no, they had to. I don't know.
She had to lose her past somehow.
Yeah.
She had to lose.
Who all saw that coming though?
I mean,
yeah,
I kind of
course.
yeah. I feel like also there, it was. I don't know. That part for me, like the rest of it, I was just kind of going along with the flow and enjoying the smut and everything, and thinking that I must be living in fantasy that there are 5 guys that are all going to be cool with each other and not have any jealousy issues. You know, they were a little territorial, but not too bad. But
No.
it was done really.
That's not biography.
Yeah, well, and I liked the way that I felt like I really started believing these guys actually were enough of a family that they could do this. And because she's so real, she's bringing out their real emotions, and you know, she's having raw emotions in front of them and not hiding her tears, so they're starting to feel things. All of that felt so good. And then the boyfriend angle, I was just like, come on. And it's better than
I saw him coming though. I saw him coming. As soon as she mentioned the lawyer conference with Vanessa, I saw it.
That's the
I was
same
like,
thing
oh,
Kevin would do.
Who also saw
you don't be there.
the Tim and Vanessa thing a mile away?
Yes.
Yeah.
The moment they started talking about how he owes her and she gets to act however she wants because he cheated on her, I'm like, she's running around with him
She's
so hard and
cheating.
ain't even
Oh yeah, she's cheating for sure.
I didn't know it too until they started talking about his brother, and then I was like, yep, that one.
it's
She was like, I'm staying with your brother in a hotel room. I was like, you're fucking him.
Yeah.
that classic like, you're cheating. I'm the one cheating, but you're cheating. So then the person's like, no, I swear.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Hate it.
That's
Although
a really shitty thing that people do.
I did get one wrong though.
Yeah?
I thought the miscarriage never happened. The pregnancy never happened. I had that pegged. I did not peg, okay, it was somebody else's. Or
I
could have been.
Had a moment where I was like, this feels like maybe it didn't happen. And then
Yeah.
and then I was really thinking about it, and I was like, wasn't he also, I know he wasn't there when she had the miscarriage, but like wasn't she in the hospital or something? And then I was like, I don't know. There's just a couple of things that
Yeah.
kind of like it could have
There
been,
weren't a lot of
but-
details about it.
yeah. But I
The
just
fact that
yeah.
the fact that she didn't see him for a year, but she can see his fucking brother. What? He wasn't on tour the whole damn year. He wasn't on, but she was study abroad or whatever. But still, she found a way to see his brother, but not him.
And Daddy's
Like,
got money. She
Yeah.
can't take a flight.
No.
He can't pay for her a flight. You
Oh,
think
he
wouldn't
was
have done that?
yeah.
I'm sure he would have.
I'm sure he tried.
I think he tried. Yeah. I was about to say. So the Vanessa character in particular, I was like, she's instantly dislikable. There's a lot of things like, leading up to like meeting her character that you're like, she sounds like the worst type of person, and then you meet her and you're like, oh, she is the exact type of person I thought she was. She's the worst type of person. But then for her to go ahead and say like, not only was she fucking Tim, his brother, Michael's brother, the entire time, for 2 years, it was probably Tim's baby.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit. That.
fucking your brother for that long, and you. Come on, Mikey. Come on.
Yeah, that was oof, that was so kind of brutal, so brutal. I was like, I can't deal with this.
It was so real to life though, because
Yeah.
good men get trapped by obligation. They
Yep.
do. And it happens more than you think it would, and it's awful
Yeah.
what these women do to them.
It's horrible, the type of people that are out there just to manipulate other people, that want to just get whatever they can from them and just leave or whatever.
Yeah. Where was
it's-
Octavia for Vanessa?
Yeah.
Could've had that boss battle, okay?
Same
Why
kind of lady.
she didn't care? She wasn't trying to fight Mike. She's trying to fuck Paxton.
Yeah. She.
I mean, it's not like everybody fucked Paxton though, so.
Apparently, but
Everybody
Paxton
but Octavia.
exactly. But Paxton never did
Yeah.
it. So.
It's so sad. He's like, he will fuck everybody but the person who's thirsting after him. And he's like, nah, turn off. No, we're not doing it.
I mean, I don't blame him. She was-
So Lee, that was. Oh yes, that was your gripe, the Kevin situation.
Yeah. I just, ugh.
Yeah, the Kevin situation, I will say, like when, as soon as they described that Tim looked like Kevin did and stuff, and that he was in town because of a convention or something like that,
Yeah.
lawyer convention or something, some bullshit.
Like, there's a lawyer convention. Come on.
I know. I just wanted to be like, okay.
Like, if it's like gay convention or, I don't know. But
It just, as soon as that happened, I was like, the fact that she said that he reminded her of Kevin, I was like, shit, Kevin's here. And I knew that there was going to be something that happened, and I was like, ah. But the fact that this asshole not only took her badge and tried to burn it, didn't succeed in burning it, but then threw it in a postal center, basically,
Yeah.
box. I'm like,
Mailbox.
wow,
This is what I love.
you
Yeah.
petty
I ain't
little
gonna lie.
bitch.
Yeah.
This is what I love, though. I love this kind of drama. So I honestly want her come up against Kevin too. I want to see her walking, like Kevin trying to get a meet and greet, and she with all the dudes, and they're like, "Oh, you're Kevin? Fuck off!" And like,
And they
right
all
away,
kiss her in front of him or something.
yeah,
Well, music never happened.
That would have been
I
great.
want to come up.
They didn't get shit.
Punk and burn her freaking all access. I hate that.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. When that happened, literally, I was feeling for her, and I was like, oh shit, she's gonna go into a spiral, and she really did. And I was like, okay, all right, I get it. And then Octavia did her little, I don't know this girl, and also she's banned. I was like, okay, let's.
don't know her, but she's banned. Bitch, get out.
And also she's I don't know her, but she's banned. Okay, whatever. Octavia's just, she's a character. Yeah.
Yeah, but
So.
you know,
I love it. It's all part of the story I like.
So, yeah, I 100% agree with pretty much all of your dislikes, because I was like, yeah, I kind of see all of these. Now we're gonna do a fun little game that I have. Yes.
I have to go.
Oh, okay. Bye, sweetie.
On next time.
Let me fix this. There we go. And there we go. And yes. So we're gonna do a fun little game real quick of fuck, marry, kill. Because there's so many in characters in this book, so we have to. All right. The first grouping, because I feel like this is gonna be the funniest one, is actually Kevin, Octavia, and Vanessa. Yep.
kill all of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, kill? Can you like fuck them to kill them, and then marry them?
You
and kill?
have to fuck,
All ending in
marry,
kills.
or kill. Like, you can kill them after you fuck them. You can kill them after you marry them. That's fine. But yeah, you have to do something with those.
I ain't touching little dick Kevin.
He's just
Wait,
insta kill.
What'd you do?
I said I ain't touching little dick Kevin because he gives off the biggest little dick energy.
Well, and he's got diseases.
Well, he also gives you STDs.
Hmm.
Yeah, stay away from that dick. Ew.
Yeah. Fair enough. So, I guess we're all in agreement. We're killing Kevin.
I hope so.
So Vanessa and Octavia. Which one? We wanna. Look, we can kill them all after.
I'd probably
I'd
sleep.
rather marry Octavia
You
Yeah.
than Vanessa.
Okay? You sleep with or marry her or sleep with her?
I'd marry Octavia. I'd fucking sleep with Vanessa. Not that I think she a good lay either, but
The way I think about it on this one,
Yeah.
like, it depends on who's got the bigger life insurance policy.
Oh, I know what you're gonna say.
Octavia probably, because she's their manager. Yeah.
gotta save a job.
She's gotta make bank, man. So.
Vanessa's still in school. She ain't got no money.
That's fair. All right. We're gonna do Michael, Paxton, and Muse.
Up past.
I think you gotta fuck.
Mary.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, you go. We're all just talking. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I was gonna say fuck Paxton, marry Muse, kill Michael. Sorry, Michael.
I mean,
that's fair for
this book?
For this book,
Yes.
yeah.
that's fair.
Yeah, I think I would agree 100%.
Okay. All right.
I mean, in some regards, yes. I did not like Paxton as much in this book as I do in the later books at all.
Yeah.
And Michael definitely shows the
The
biggest
asshole.
coming out of his shell,
Yeah. Okay.
because Michael is an asshole, but Paxton matches him 1-to-1 for no fucking desirable reason.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
That's
So
why I threw
Yeah.
in Muse, because I was like, at least everybody's gonna like marry Muse.
yes, marry Muse.
Yeah.
I will
I just-
fuck Michael and I will say kill Paxton for this particular book.
Yeah,
If it
that's
was
fair.
end of the series Paxton, it'd be different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I like being a bad boy. I just picture Paxton as the bad boy band member. Like,
Yeah, he's one note in this book.
Yeah, he I will say for me it's probably kill Paxton, marry Muse, and fuck Michael. But that's because Paxton shows his ass so much of the time in this book because he's just an asshole to almost everybody. He grows eventually in this book, but also he's just I mean, the
Oh,
first
yeah.
thing that he does is tie her up, fuck her, and
And leave
leave
her.
her tied up
And the only-
still.
And the only reason that he did that was because one of the other band members showed an interest in her at all. Otherwise, he had no interest in her initially.
Oh, Ransom did. Yeah, that's why. Yeah. This one's gonna be a little harder. So, Ransom, Copeland, and Muse, because they're like the sweetest.
Marion Copeland.
I love them. Yeah.
Marion Copeland.
yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I'd marry Cope as well. I think he's my favorite.
I'm marrying Ransom because I freaking love him so much.
It's fair.
He's like the sweetest little guy, and I'm just like, oh, I want to just make sure you're always safe. I don't know.
He
Huh?
has his moments. Ransom?
Yeah, he does have moments, but for the most part, he's like incredibly like concerned about her. He's constantly like, I want her to be safe and feel loved and stuff, and I want he's half the time he doesn't. I don't feel. Well, I mean, he always wants to fuck her, but
then
also he
he's the
also
one who
doesn't
got it-
always want to fuck her.
And he's the one who's got his shit together, though.
Yeah.
Isn't he?
Yes.
Muse is really
Seeming.
smart.
Seemingly.
I mean,
Compared to the others,
but-
yes, he's a lot farther along.
So we also don't know Muse's story in this book. He has not, like, we don't know what happened to him, but he has something major that happened to him. It's hinted at so much that they've basically said, I want, as soon as I find out this thing, I know it's going to
break my heart.
break him or
Yep.
something. And I'm like,
It'll hurt.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So as soon as we get that information, I'm like, oh god, this is gonna change things. But at the moment, I felt that with Ransom, with his nightmares, with a lot of different things that he was exhibiting, for me, I was like, I want to make sure this baby is safe, and also I want to fuck.
Fair.
Yeah, I pass on the Ransom.
Okay.
I have had very similar. I am not doing that again.
Look, I
Oh.
love
Lord.
all of them. This is like, I don't want to kill anybody. It'd be like, okay, I'm going to like drown you or something, but then I'm gonna like revive you again, so that I can just restart your heart. You're not actually dying.
I mean, you sit on his face long enough, he won't be able to breathe and he'll die that way.
I mean, that's fair. I didn't say how he'd be drowning.
It's fair.
I'm sorry, that was dirty. Okay, so
We're literally a dirty book
this
club.
is true.
I know, right?
This is true. Okay. Yeah, I think that is good for the fuck, marry, kill. So now we're gonna go into our general rating of the book for plot, characters, growth, whatever you want, and then we'll go into our spicy rating. So, Lee, let's start with you. What was your rating?
And we're going out
Out of 5 stars.
Okay. I give this one a 4-star, maybe 4.5.
Okay.
I feel like it was really enjoyable. I liked it a lot. And I immediately had to start reading the second one. And that's a huge thing for me. So definitely 4.5. I think it's just a solid 4.5. We'll go there. So close to a 5 for me, but
Okay. 4.5. Gotcha. Done and done. Okay. Claire.
I give this a 4 out of 5. I really liked it. I liked that it was a solid plot. But I felt also as Nick said earlier, it's more like porn with some plot, like still right, and it was a solid plot. But it wasn't like a story that's gonna hook me so much, and like I mean it did, but it's not like Fourth Wing, right? It's not like a plot that is like so and has so much depth. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So 4 out of 5. I liked it. I thought it was good, but I just there was lots of things I don't know. It was trash. It was, which I say that it's like not a bad thing, right? I say that it's like I also love my own kind of trash, right? I'm here for the drama.
It was spice.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that. I'm not mad about it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Nick.
Yeah, I would probably give it about a 4.5, just like Lee. It had good plot, it had good storytelling, good world building for what we got of it. The spice in it was immense and detailed.
Very.
To say the least, detailed. I like the way that the writer actually handles the characters and tells their stories while intermingling everything into one cohesive unit, rather than like you have separate books for separate people kind of deal. So yeah, I'd give it 4 to 4.5.
Absolutely. I'm right there with you guys. I'm right at 4.5, like right in the middle maybe. But it felt very, very well done. In general, the plot is so it's interesting enough that it keeps you wanting to read. It's spicy enough that I'm like, hell yeah. But also the fact that she's going through waves of grief and she's experiencing all of these things, and then it's bringing out other things with these guys, and I'm like, okay, I love the emotional sides of this. This is really interesting, genuine to me. And also not only that, the story of her actually like okay, so I kind of got picked up by a band, and I'm like, I like that. It's making me think about like my fan fiction days where I would actually like try to make a fan fiction of like, oh wow, I got to see Avenged Sevenfold or something like that. Because that's what I did. But yeah, about 4.5 for me. Maybe 4. There was just a couple of things that I was like, this could have been done a little bit better, or didn't have to go quite so hard on the freaking Kevin thing, because that was annoying, or the Vanessa thing. And I wish we got more from Octavia as to why she was such a bitch, but sometimes people are bitches. So now we're gonna go into our spice rating, and it's 1 out of 5 spice chili peppers. So 1 to 5 chili peppers is what we're doing. We also have a 0.5. So Lee, what did you give this spice?
I think I'm gonna also give this a 4.5 peppers, because it was just really. And I said it before. If it's one of those sex scenes where I'm like, I think I should take notes. This is really good. And I gotta tell you, it doesn't stop with this series, like this book. 4 notes. Yeah, 4.5 for me.
Okay.
Spicy.
Claire.
I ain't holding back. This gets a 5 out of 5 chili peppers for me.
There you
because
go.
It was spicy. I had a DP. I had I am here for it. And not only that, they didn't make me wait for no sex. She had sex with all the dudes. And they started warming me up to 2 dudes at once, 3 dudes at once, until 4 dudes. Like 5 out of 5. And I know it's only gonna get spicier the more the books go on. So 5 out of 5. Chili peppers. It had me sweating my balls off, and also being, hey, at work, I must make sure no one can hear this. And if I'm like looking around, making sure nobody can overhear the book, then it gets a 5 out of 5.
That is fair. That is absolutely fair, Nick.
A lot of sex. There was a lot of it.
I would give it a 4.5 out of 5, mostly because I've read the next 2 books, and it only gets better.
Ooh. Okay. Awesome. I like that.
All I can say is wait for Cope.
Yo.
I'm sorry, I just went off into my own little head for a moment.
Oh, they describe him in detail.
Whew.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's fun.
Interesting. Cannot wait. I will be reading Rhodey very quickly then. For me, I'm actually going to say a 4.5 as well. I wish, only because it was, for this first book, it promised you a sixum. You got maybe one, I think it was like 2-ish scenes. One of them was very vaguely described. And I wanted at least 3. And I did not get that. So, yeah. So 4.5, but still, I can't wait for it to ramp up. Because apparently it's gonna, and I'm excited for it. Alright, so yeah, that was our wonderful review for Groupie. This was a very fun, this was a very fun read for spice lovers. This this was kind of an emotional read in some ways too. So this is kind of like interesting how it kind of balances out with these things.
It's like be prepared to cry, but also be horny.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe at the same time.
Yeah. How does that work? But yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, but she did it.
I'm not gonna say anything to that. It's not like I've done that before.
Sometimes you know.
It's so good to cry. I don't know. Yeah, so next week, or I'm sorry, not next week, in 2 weeks from now, we're going to be reviewing a fanfic. Hang on one second, I will pull that up because I believe I have it. Where is it? Nope. It is, there it is. Nope. Oh, Lil Sonic. Lil Sonic is the author, and we're going to be reading a Sonic the Hedgehog and Mario, I think, fanfic. It was requested.
Okay.
Give me all the rest of your fanfics and we will get through them, because give me pairings. I will make sure it happens. So yeah, we will be reading that in 2 weeks. We will review that. And then our next book is in 4 weeks. It is called Axes and O's. It is by who is it by? Kayla Gross. So yes. So please join us for those fun times as well. As always, we hope you have a wonderful night, day, rest of your week, rest of your month. Be kind to yourself and to others. And remember, we are always here for you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.